Okay, in the last video, we learned how to write an equation of a line and slope-intercept form given only the point and the slope. I'm looking outside. This snow is getting serious, though. I need to hurry up and get home. I'm not playing. Okay, that's just a side note. All right, so, given 2 points, write the equation of a line through them. So I have these 2 points here, and they want me to write an equation of a line through them. Well, the last time we were given something like this, we were given like 2/3. You don't have to write this down, everybody. Be happy. And then you were saying that m was equal to 3 or something like that. Not 2/3, but 2/3. And you were given m is equal to 3. And we're like, yay, we label, and then we write y equals mx plus b, and then we plug in and we solve, and then we rewrite. But this time, we don't have the slope. So how could I find the slope of these 2 points so that I can have something that might look like this? Well, we need the slope of the line, and then we need 1 point of the line. That's why this says slope and 1 point. How do I find the slope, everybody? I know y'all know how to find this. It's the slope formula. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And we know why we use subscripts to distinguish. So this will be x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. And now we find the slope of the line. Because if we can find the slope of the line, then we can find something else. All right, let's plug them in. 2 minus 3 over -1 minus 2. So the slope of this line will be 2 minus 3 is -1. 1. And then -1 minus 2 is -3. And we know a negative of a negative is a positive, 1/3. Okay, so I know the slope of this line is 1/3. So how could I get this to look like this? Well, all I have to do is then pick an ordered pair. Now, I promise you in the times past, I thought this came out to be a whole number. So let me make sure I did my math right. Yep, 2 minus 3. Yep, and -1 minus 2. Okay, so we got a fraction. I don't remember ever getting a fraction in the beginning. So we pick an ordered pair. So I'm going to pick an ordered pair. I know I'm going to have to multiply by 1/3. So I need to pick an ordered pair that will make this easier. I don't know why Mr. O'Neill did this with a fraction, but whatever. Fractions are numbers. I know y'all get terrified. So pick an ordered pair. I'm going to pick 2, 3 because I don't like negative numbers. So I'll just pick 2, 3. So pick an ordered pair 2, 3. And now I have my slope. So guess what we do? 5-step rule, 5-step rule, 5-step rule. Okay, what's the 5-step rule? Well, here we have, I think I'm going to regret this. Label everything x, y. Right, y equals mx plus b. I know y'all are saying it before I say it. Go ahead, what's the next step? Go ahead. Right, plug in. I knew you knew. 1/3 times 2 plus b. What's the next step? I knew you knew. Solve for b. So you get 3 is equal to, put this over 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2/3 plus b. Solve for b by subtracting 2/3 from both sides. So b is equal to 2 1/3. But we rewrite this as a improper fraction. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 7/3. So now what do? We bring m and b together to make a happy home in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to what? 1/3 x plus 7/3 is the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Given 2 points, write the equation of a line through them. Well, we're using slope-intercept form. All right, so let's do something that's going to be a little easier. Hopefully, I did this right. All right, okay, cool. So the first thing we want to do is find the slope. All right, so we need to find the slope of this line. How do we do that? We use the slope formula. So x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Find the slope by doing 4 minus 8 over -5 minus 0. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. So with these fractions, Mr. O'Neill, negative 5 minus 0 is negative 5. And we get 4/5. Yeah, we like fractions. All right. So now we pick an ordered pair. Now this is my hint. This is my hint. Y'all ready for my hint? Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ready for my hint? Okay, this is my hint. It's still snowing outside. That's not my hint. My hint is whenever you see 0 as an ordered pair, I always pick 0 because anytime you multiply by 0, you get 0, everybody. So pick the ordered pair that has 0. Watch how easy this is. It gets rid of fractions as well. Well, it helps out with fractions a lot. So pick the ordered pair. So we have 0, 8, and m is equal to 4/5. So pick the 0 because when you multiply, because you know we have to multiply, 5-step rule, label everything. Right, y equals mx plus b. Plug in the y, m, and the x. Y is 8, m is 4/5, x is 0. Y'all see that? You see what that 0 does? It makes life so wonderful because anything times 0 is 0 and it's gone. Like, bye. Okay, so b is equal to 8. I'm done. I got my m. I got my b. This is my m. This is my b. And now I have my equation. Y equals 4/5 x plus 8. Okay. Y'all see that? Right. Somebody might be asking, what? So whenever x is 0 with my order pair, my b is always going to be what my y is. You will actually be correct. You know why you're correct? And this is for the smart person that's thinking out there. You know why you're correct? Because if I'm on the y-axis, if I'm on the y-axis, x always has to be 0. That means any number on the 0 is on the y-axis, which represents our y-intercept. 8 will always be the y-intercept. So whenever x is 0, that's on automatically giving my b. That's a little hint for the people out there in Smartville. All right, x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Find my slope. 1 minus negative 2 over negative 3 minus 4. 1 minus negative 2 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. There goes Ms. O'Neill with these fractions. And we get negative 3/7. Okay? So y is equal to negative, sorry, my slope is equal to negative 3/7. This is my m. Picking on the pair. So none of these really look that great because you got this fraction here. And you're going to have to still multiply by one of these numbers. None of these numbers are divisible by 7. So I'm going to pick this because it has a 1 in it next to 0. 1 is my favorite number. So I'm going to pick negative 3, 1. Both of them have negatives in them. I don't like negatives too much either because I'm a positive person. Hint. All right, so we label x, y, right? Y equals mx plus b. Plug in. We're ready? Y, m, and x. Y is 1. M is negative 3 over 7. X is negative 3 plus b. A negative times a negative is a positive. So we get y is equal to 9/7 plus b. If you want to make this look great, 1 is the same thing as 7/7. So you can turn this into 7/7 if you don't have a calculator. Equals 9/7 plus b. Subtract 9/7 from both sides. And you get b is equal to a negative 2/7. I got m and I got b, and that means I have a happy home. Y is equal to negative 3/7 x minus 2/7. This is the slope. This is the y-intercept. This is the reason why you don't want to graph this, because on a graph, negative 2/7 is between negative 1 and 0. So it's going to be in between here. Now, if I draw this graph, it will cross somewhere there. I don't know what that is. That's why we use the equation to be exact. Do I need to do another one? Yes, I do. There's one more. You're doing those next ones. Ooh, there's a 0, everybody. Happy, happy, joy, joy. All right. Ooh, 2 zeros. This will be extra credit to the people that show their work and get this right. I have 5 points for you. Yes, I do. Okay, now people get confused and think something weird happening if I have a table. A table can be made up of ordered pairs. Remember, this is my x, this is my y. Input, output, input, output. So, in essence, if I'm given a table and they want an equation of the line, then some of you all are going to be smart and just realize, okay, how does 0 become 6, 1 become 10, -1 becomes 2, and -2 becomes -2. Well, you're going to try to figure out the equation, y is equal to blah, 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 blah. That's for all my people that can think analytically. For the rest of us, we're going to use the 5-step rule. We're going to find the slope, and then we're going to pick an ordered pair in this problem. So to find the slope, remember, slope and rate of change are the same. So how are the y's changing? Y's, -2 become 2 by doing what? We add 4. And notice it's doing the same thing. -2 become -1 by adding 1. So guess what? I wrote that kind of backwards. Not kind of backwards. I actually did write it backwards. We're adding 1. So changing y over changing x will be, m will be 4 over 1. No fractions. I know y'all are happy. Or 4. How did I figure that out? How are the y's changing? How are the x's are changing? Changing y over changing x. If you don't like that, then do the y sub 2 minus y sub 1. I'm doing both. And yes, you have to write down both so that you can pick a way that works for you. 2 minus, this will be y sub 2, y sub 1, -2 over -1 minus -2. Watch what happens. 2 plus 2 is 4. Watch what happens. -1 plus 2 is 1. M is equal to 4. So M is equal to 4, everybody. We know that. Then we come here and we choose an ordered pair. What do I see? Y'all see what is looking at me? I can make an eye out of it. Y'all see that eye looking at me? All right. I'm being silly today for whatever reason. All right, so pick 0, 6. Why? Because anytime I multiply by 0, my number's gone. And you should already know, some of y'all already know, hey, Mr. O'Neill, you don't have to even solve the equation because I was listening the last time. And I remember when you said when x is 0, this is going to be my y-intercept. But for those people that don't pick that up, label, right? Y equals mx plus b. Plug in 6 is equal to 4 times 0 plus b. What's 4 times 0? Solve 0. So b is equal to 6. Yay. Solve for b. Rewrite in slope intercept form. Y equals 4x plus 6. Okay, I'm not making this video any longer, and plus I'm tired and the snow is coming down a little stronger. So therefore, I'm out of here. But before I go, I like positive reinforcement, so I'm going to give myself a check. Great job, Mr. O'Neill. You always educate these wonderful minds, and I love it. And like always, we out.